your signature on this document?
I'm pretty sure it's Miss Headland's signature.
Okay. And Ms. Headland, of course, is your trial partner and the other attorney on this case. Thank you very much. And this says recording stopped. Oh, now we're back on live stream, so we're good? Okay.
Yes, sir. I was able to get it.
In clause 672113, Mr. Clark, the first document I'm looking at is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions. It purports to have your signature on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, sir, is this your signature on this document?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. By signing this document, are you telling me that you've had enough time to either read this document or have it read to you in its entirety? If you had any questions about what was on this document, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorneys, so that in signing this document, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct, sir?
Everything from what my lawyer has told to me. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Did you have any questions on this document that have not been answered at this time?
I'm just under the impression that I was signing the plea to get a misdemeanor charge, and
yes, sir. That's exactly what we're doing. Do
and
you have
no
any further questions on that? Need further time to chat with your attorney on this, sir?
Well, I mean, I don't want to take it any further. So, I mean, this was from the DWI, and I got my driver's license back and everything. So I'd rather just keep on going with the, going straight.
The charge I'm looking at is failure to stop and give information. It's not a DWI.
Right.
Ms. Russell, is that your understanding of what we're doing?
Yes, Judge. I think what Mr. Clark is saying is that it happened at the same time as another incident. Is that correct, Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Clark, are you happy with the advice that your attorneys have given you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any further questions at this time for your attorneys?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Russell, as attorney for Mr. Clark, have you had enough time to go over the case with him, and in your opinion, is he mentally competent?
Ms. Headland has informed me that he is mentally competent.
Mr. Clark, are you a United States citizen, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And Ms. Russell, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
Yes, they have.
And my understanding is this case 672113 started out as failure to stop and give information, and we're staying with that charge. Would that be accurate, state?
That is accurate, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Clark, in clause 672113 on the charge of failure to stop and give information, how do you plead, sir?
No contest.
Would that be correct, sir?
No contest. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Court accepts the plea of no contest to the charge of failure to stop and give information. Is there an agreement in this case, state?
There is, Your Honor, a $0 fine plus court costs, 11 days in the Bexar County Jail. Restitution, if any, to Manuel Herrera. And if it pleases the court, the judgment will be satisfied.
All right. The state understands that we have no jurisdiction to enforce restitution, if any, to Manuel Herrera once this is a judgment satisfied case.
Yes, Your Honor. I thank you for reminding the state judge. I still have not received any proof that the victim in this case, Mr. Manuel Herrera, has been paid restitution for the accident, Your Honor.
All right, let me back up. Mr. Clark, did you have insurance that would cover this accident at the time that the accident occurred?
I have insurance on my car, but I was not in my vehicle. I was not driving my vehicle.
Okay, so as far as you know, you're not covered by any insurance on this accident?
I'm not sure, sir. It was in my vehicle.
Understand. Well, sometimes, for instance, I'm a USAA guy, so any vehicle I drive, I'm covered in as long as I have insurance on one of my vehicles. I don't know what your insurance company policy says. So you don't know what it boils down to. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I'm no, and I know I'm probably not covered. I just
thank you. And Ms. Russell, is that your understanding also?
It is, Judge, but the defense's position would be that the state had an opportunity to get restitution, if any, from the complaining witness by contacting them prior to this time.
Okay, state, the bottom line is, if we take this plea today, and it's going to be a judgment satisfied plea, neither the state nor the court has any authority after we take this plea to enforce any restitution. Is that correct, Ms. Russell, in your understanding?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
Judge, and I'm seeing notes in that I put in our judicial docket on the 3rd of October, asking the defendant to provide through counsel to provide proof of insurance.
He doesn't have any insurance. He just told us that. he was driving somebody else's car. And even if he had insurance on his own car, we don't think the insurance would cover him driving someone else's car. Ms. Russell, do you agree?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, so state, there's no way if we take a plea today and we find that judgment satisfied, there's no way the state, the court, or anybody else
No.
can enforce restitution. Now, obviously, the victim of the accident can sue civilly and do restitution that way if it becomes necessary. Do you even know right now that restitution is an issue in this case?
I'm looking at the notes right now.
Obviously,
Judge.
the victim probably had insurance on their vehicle and maybe were compensated from their insurance company. I just don't know.
Hold on, I'm looking at a note that's on point to this right now, Judge. If the court would allow me a quick, brief moment.
You bet.
Your Honor, I am seeing in the notes back in December of last year that the victim witness does have insurance, and that insurance is going to cover the repairs to his car as far as he knows. So the state at this point would be okay with proceeding with the plea agreements for 11 days in the Bexar County Jail. Judgment satisfied.
All right, is that okay with the defense, Ms. Russell?
It is, Judge, and I've also contacted Ms. Headland, and it's Ms. Headland's understanding that the owner of the vehicle that our client was driving is also, his insurance is also aware of the damages, and they were working out that agreement between the owner of the vehicle and the complaining witness, not our client.
Mr. Clark, in clause 672-113, the court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of failure to stop and give information. I find you guilty. I assess 11 days in the Bexar County Jail, a $0 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run, concurrent, judgment satisfied. Anything further from the state or the defense of Mr. Clark?
Nothing further from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing from defense, Judge.
Good luck, Mr. Clark. And then Pat, what does Mr. Clark need to do to, I guess he doesn't need to do anything. This is a JSAC case, right?
Honor, Susan's here. I don't know whether
Susan, on a JSAC case, does Mr. Clark need to do anything else
there's
for you?
nothing for him to do.
No, Your Honor. If he had any bond conditions, like any devices, you'll need to have the clerks put orders in to get all that removed.
And let me address that. Altering, amending, recalling all pretrial services, bond conditions, and warrants that might still be active on this case.
Okay.
Okay, good luck, Mr. Clark.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Russell.
Thank you. Happy Veterans Day.
Thank
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you also.
And are we ready on anything else at this point?
Your Honor, at this point, no, Ms. Castillo is in. I have emailed as well as texted her attorney, and I believe she had talked to him, and he was supposed to be coming in.
Is
Mr.
that Eric DeWalt?
No, that was the Lindbergh, Jacob Lindbergh. They were supposed to be doing the restitution. However, it's my understanding they didn't know the amount of the restitution, Your Honor. So I told them to come in so that they could talk with the DA and get that information. The other one is the inmate. I'm waiting to find out when we will be getting the inmate because we have that problem. And Mr. DeWalt said he would come in. He was here for a long time and just said for me to let him know once we had
Who was the attorney on the restitution issue?
it. Jacob Lindbergh.
And is he here this morning?
He has not signed in, Your Honor.
Was he told to sign in?
Yes, Your Honor. I've told him
State, did you determine what the specific amount of restitution was on this case that Mr. Lindbergh represents the defendant?
Yeah, this is for Castillo, correct?
I
yes.
have no idea. I'm guessing.
Yes, Judge. The amount of restitution is $1,027 payable to Marcia Kincaid.
Now, Mr. Heinrich, where do they pay that?
They're not going to pay it directly to the victim. They pay
Right,
it to the
where do they go and drop
county
that
somewhere.
off? They wanted to bring a check or something to the office, and I informed them, we don't accept restitution, so where would they need to go?
I think they need to go to the fourth floor window of the DA's office. They'll be able to instruct them. I couldn't tell you straight up, Pat.
Okay,
My
that's
experience,
fine.
probation handled it.
That's fine.
Got to be a similar process they use on hot checks, one would think. I just don't
Yeah.
know. who handles it.
Ms. Castillo, did you hear the amount?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
I
Uh,
sent it into my attorney's office.
okay,
Ms.
good.
Castillo,
Yes.
Hey, Ms. Castillo, if you, do you have your attorney's cell number?
Yes, I do. I've been trying to contact him and he said that there would be somebody else from the firm joining, but that he is in Kendall County District Court and that he's supposed to be joining.